Hello, and welcome to Xtalks Spotlight, illuminating insights from subject matter experts and industry thought leaders. I'm Sonia Hunt. In this episode, we're asking the question, what does it take to change the way we manage pain? With more, here's Sydney Perlmutter.
Thanks, Sonia. Solving the opioid epidemic long-term requires bringing new, safe, and better treatments to market to replace the reliance on opioids in the clinical setting. The development of a non-addictive, non-opioid treatment or an adjunct treatment that could reduce the needed opioid dosage would revolutionize how we treat pain. However, the industry is facing significant challenges in developing these therapies, including the weak ability of preclinical data to predict clinical success and insufficient financing. Both have led to high rates of program failure. Despite the challenges, promising investigational products for pain management are entering into trials. The development partners these sponsors select will impact the quality of data and success of the program, making it critical to work with a partner who has experience developing these products. Worldwide Clinical Trials was founded more than 3 decades ago to advance neuroscience compounds. While they have expanded to support many therapeutic areas, Worldwide built its name by delivering exceptional neuroscience development services in partnership with the sponsors, leading the charge in changing medicine. Beyond traditional development services, Worldwide partners for program and sponsor success, offering consultative drug development services and assistance with securing the funding needed to advance pain programs. In this Xtalks Spotlight edition, we're delighted to have Maria Madariaga, Associate Medical Monitor in Neuroscience at Worldwide Clinical Trials. Dr. Madariaga leverages her 2 decades of clinical experience as a former pain-specialized anesthesiologist and investigator for pain clinical trials. Dr. Madariaga joins us today to talk about how our industry is working to overcome the challenges presented by opioids and to explore where our industry is headed, what we still need to focus on, and what she sees for the future of pain management. Thank you for taking the time in this Spotlight interview, Dr. Madariaga.
Thank you, Sydney. Thank you. Thank you all for being here today, because I think this is a great topic, a great subject to know more about. And this is a very good question that I'll try to answer at my best knowledge. So as you all know, chronic pain affects 2 million of patients worldwide. This is estimated that about 1/4 of the global population live in chronic, constant, debilitating pain. And that's not good news, despite the opioid epidemic. So placebo-controlled clinical trials with primary endpoints based on subjective measures, as pain itself is, suffer from a high degree of variability secondary to inflated placebo response and inaccurate patient reporting. And this is a terrible point, because most importantly, one of the main challenges we face in analgesic trials is related to the high placebo response we find. So this is so problematic that even formulations of drugs that we know work perfectly, beautifully, often fail to separate their effect from the same placebo in clinical trials. To solve this important hurdle, we need to understand how and why placebo response works and can cause false negative results in clinical trials. So we must employ techniques that potentially may reduce this bias from study staff and the study subject, and then produce more accurate data and more reliable data. This is also crucial, finding new approaches different from the current analgesic drugs and devices. For example, new compounds which act over endogenous opioid receptor and then act inside the nociceptive pathway as a natural perfect agonist and then relieve pain, but without almost any of the risks related to the classic opioid drugs. Also, TRPV1 receptor agonists as capsaicin or resiniferatoxin, they all act as a potential disease modificator drugs for painful polyneuropathies and other conditions related to chronic neuropathic pain. Dorsal root ganglia neurons are lately studied as potential targets to avoid pain chronification in some beautiful as well non-opioid way. And also, last but not the least, cannabinoids or cannabis-based drugs are also utilized as analgesics as well in neuropathic pain models, cancer pain models, without the burden of their well-known side effects. So as you can see, there are a lot of new strategies to achieve new objectives to reach that we are proud in some way to be related to and willing and happy to go on with this kind of clinical trials that as you can see all this population need.
So, what types of chronic pain conditions have the greatest need for new treatments?
This is also a great question as well, and very difficult really to answer, because I must admit that all chronic pain conditions are in great need of novel treatments. Chronic primary pain or nociplastic pain, chronic secondary pain, which is the pain which is produced by a known condition that it's generating the nociception, as is neuropathic pain, which is developed after a lesion inside the somatosensory nervous system, pain related to cancer, as I said before, postoperative pain, inflammatory or nociceptive mechanical degenerative pain condition like osteoarthritis is. In general, we really need better drugs in all these models, in all these mechanisms related to pain conditions, from initial nociception to altered brain function that we know that really fails when a person has the misfortune of becoming a chronic pain patient normally for life.
Now, I know that Worldwide has a long history in developing treatments for neuroscience, including for pain indications, and has been part of the evolution in how pain is treated. So, as you look forward to the future of pain treatment and management, what do you believe is still needed?
Well, first of all, we must know well what we are talking about to compare different pain conditions in the best possible way, using for that a chronic pain classification tools in a way that we all speak the same language. We also need a much more comprehensive medical education in pain science, a much more strong pain science as well, better clinical trials, and that's where we step in to achieve better quality of life for our patients. How to design and nicely execute clinical trials is crucial in pain studies and difficult, but not impossible to provide the best scientific weight for any intervention, drug, compound, or device. We also, of course, need sponsor support to vet for the relief of pain suffering without the risks we have learned in the past.
So, what does the relatively new classification of some types of chronic pain into the category called nociplastic pain mean for clinical research?
This new category really implies many changes for many patients who meet the classical criteria to be addressed as mechanical or nociceptive pain or neuropathic mixed pain, because they must find also the best treatment options possible, as well as better clinical research opportunities regarding their symptoms, that are quite different from the classic models like fatigue, insomnia, depressed mood, that usually are presented in that kind of chronic widespread pain like fibromyalgia and other types of conditions that implies a lot of suffering, and as I said before, some kind of impaired functionality that lasts for life. But again, the same approach is essential for all pain conditions, named primary or secondary pain, neuropathic, nociceptive, mixed or nociplastic types of pain, and in that way is where Worldwide we can do our best job, of course.
So, how does Worldwide's personalized approach to development services help sponsors to advance in trials in pain?
Well, I am totally convinced that our main value is the thorough preparation of every aspect involved in each clinical trial. I'd say that as a zero, we are quite uncommon. our not too big company's condition allows to keep a close contact with our clients, but at the same time, we show an outstanding preparation in all different aspects of any clinical trial, and also, as our name says, worldwide. Each one of us are quite different about our background, expertise, but I'd say that our teamwork as a whole shine through the clinical trial execution. And that's something that any sponsor, any client that works with us, realizes soon.
Well, thank you very much, Dr. Madariaga, for speaking with us today.
Thank you all. Thank you very much, Sydney.
We look forward to learning more about Worldwide's work in clinical trials for pain treatment and management. Thank you all for joining us for this Xtalks Spotlight feature. We hope you enjoyed the discussion.